So what is the difference between TestNG and JUnit? So you can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So JUnit originally developed by Kent Beck and Eric Gamma in 2013. TestNG was developed by Best Cedric. Cedric Best or Best Cedric. So TestNG is derived from JUnit only. By the inspiration of JUnit, Best Cedric created TestNG framework. So then what are the differences? So JUnit is the one which is used by developers to write their unit test cases. Even you can write the automation test cases also. You can write automation test cases also with JUnit. And what are the main differences then? So you already observed that JUnit is going to have a less annotations. You have only hardly 5, 6, right? 5. Before all, before each, at the rate test, after each, after all. And at the rate suit, at the rate run with also there, you can create a suits also. And there are drawbacks in the JUnit. You cannot prioritize the test cases. Which test case you want to run first, you cannot prioritize that. So there is no priority option in JUnit. But in TestNG, if you have multiple test cases in the same TestNG class, you can prioritize that. You can prioritize that. So how to prioritize? Using priority keyword at the rate test. So priority you can use. And second main difference is, this is the first main difference. You don't have option in JUnit, but you have a priority option in TestNG. Which test case you want to run first, you can make a priority. Second option, you cannot set the dependency on test methods. One test depends on another test. You cannot do that in JUnit. But in TestNG, you can do that nicely. So there is a keyword called depends on methods. So the depends on methods keyword will set the dependency among test methods. For example, test2 depends on test1. You can set the dependency. So on test2, you can write at the rate test depends on methods equal to test1. So what will happen? First test1 will execute, then test2 will execute. So like that, you can set the even priority with the depends on methods. Go and execute test1 first, then come to here and you are telling. If test1 fails, test2 doesn't execute. That's a dependency means. So that is the advantage with the TestNG. So first 2 points, you cannot prioritize test cases, multiple test cases in the same file in JUnit, but you can do that in TestNG with the priority keyword. At the rate test priority equal to 0 or 1, 2, 3, like that, you can give the numbers. Second one, you cannot set the dependency among test methods in JUnit, but you can do in TestNG. So you can group the test cases in JUnit and TestNG both places, but TestNG will provide a groups keyword like this. You can group. Okay, this test belongs to sanity group and regression group. You can group the test cases. In JUnit also you have that option at the rate tag. Now I think it is, so you can use the tag above the test and you can group the test cases in JUnit also. So parallelism, in JUnit you can do easily executing the test cases parallelly, and you cannot so do that in JUnit efficiently because Here you have option thread pool size, invocation count equal to 9. Same test case, 9 terms it will execute one after the other. So that is the one you have option in TestNG, but you don't have option in JUnit. This kind of keywords you don't have. So parameterization and data-driven testing. So in JUnit, you don't have option to parameterize directly with the annotation. In TestNG, you have option to parameterize with the data provider annotation. Or at that parameters annotation you can use in TestNG. But you don't have annotations here, but you have to iterate the data from Excel sheets or anywhere. In JUnit, you can do that. But direct annotation concept is not there in JUnit, but we have option in TestNG. So that's what all the points I covered. Reporting, another one, last one. Reporting structure is very good in TestNG, and that is not good in JUnit. So you have seen, right? So simple. You have only this one, like this. But in TestNG, you have a nice HTML. So reports, you will get it. That's the main difference between uh, this JUnit and TestNG differences. So if you go to TestNG, so let's see, this is the TestNG framework. What is a TestNG means? A TestNG is a next generation testing framework. TestNG, next generation testing framework, which is designed to design your test cases from unit test case to till end-to-end test case. All unit test cases you can write, system test cases, functional test cases, regression test cases, all user acceptance test cases, all end-to-end test cases you can write with the test engine. And so how it works is, so this is the one, all your test engine test case on one side, and you can take the data from Excel sheets or any data files, and you run as a TestNG test, and it will generate the reports and logs. So that's the good part of TestNG. Okay. So, and advantages are, so TestNG provides a rich annotation support. So which has a lot of annotations uh, from suit level to till method level, you have annotations. And these many annotations you don't have in uh, JUnit, right? So that is the another advantage here. So TestNG generates better HTML reports. So you don't have this concept in JUnit. So we can prioritize the test cases. Test case means at the rate test methods with a at the rate test priority equal to 1, 2, 3, like that you can give. So, okay, this test you want to run when? So the lowest one will schedule first, lowest number. So if I give 0, that is the first one will schedule. It doesn't matter order where you kept in that your TestNG class. It can be anywhere in the TestNG class, and you can set the order, and that order only your test cases will be executed. That's how to set the priority in the TestNG. You can skip the test cases using enabled equal to false. I missed one more point in the differences. Even in JUnit also, you can skip the test cases. For example, I don't want to run one of the test, right? So this test I don't want to run. So how can you set that? Just put at the rate disabled. So then this test is not going to execute. That's how to skip the test case in JUnit. In TestNG, you have option to skip using enabled equal to false. See, this is skipped. So this one is ignored, one is executed. So this is how you can skip the test case in JUnit, but in TestNG, you have to write like this: at the rate test enabled equal to false. If you write, and this test is not going to be executed. temporarily, if you don't want to execute, you can do like this. That's how to skip the test case in JUnit and TestNG. So we can set the dependency among test methods. So at the rate test depends on methods equal to test1. That means this test depends on test1. So that's how you can set the dependency among test methods. This option you don't have. This option and this option you don't have in JUnit. Skipping concept is there and grouping concept is there in both places. So we can group the test cases in TestNG at the rate test. Groups keyword you have to use. See, these are all keywords at the rate test keywords. So priority, enable, depends on methods, groups. So you can group this test belong to smoke or regression group. You can group it. So we can run the test cases parallelly on multiple browsers. So you want to run same test on different browsers. You can do in Selenium with the TestNG feature. Selenium directly it doesn't have. With the TestNG feature, you can do that. So that's the uh, provision you have, but JUnit you don't have this. So we can do a data-driven testing using at the rate data provider annotation. So we can do a data-driven testing with the data provider annotation. So you will store all the data in this annotation, or you store in Excel sheet and supply that Excel sheet data to data provider, and that data you can give it to a test method. It will iterate automatically one after the other. All the data sets it will iterate. That provision you have in TestNG. So we can supply parameter values from XML file using at the rate parameters annotation. So that's the advantages of the TestNG concept. So now you how to install TestNG? Just you need to add a TestNG dependency in form.xml. So we're all using Maven project. So you don't need to install again. Okay, so just go to Maven repository. So search for TestNG. So go click on this, and this is the latest version. Take this, copy this dependency, put it in. So pom.xml. So under dependencies. So just refresh this and it will download. See, it is downloading and TestNG is available, ready to use. So quick installation. Okay. If you're using a Maven project or Gradle project, it is a very, very quick. So that is the how to install and advantages of a TestNG. Now let's go to what are the annotations. So what are the different annotations? So TestNG is going to provide before suit, after suit, before test, after test, before groups, after groups, before class, after class, before method, after method. So data provider. And then you have one more at the rate parameters. So these are the bunch of annotations you have. So let's understand each annotation. What is mean by each annotation? What is mean by before suit? Before suite, the suite or suit, whatever you call it. So you have a suit means what? A collection of test cases. A suit means a collection of test cases, like all your test NG classes, right? Multiple test NG classes you will include all of them. You want to, for example, I want to create a one smoke suit, a regression suit. So if you want to create a regression suite or smoke suite, every suit is going to have multiple test cases. This smoke suite or regression suite before, if you want to execute some precondition code before starting your suit test cases, you want to execute some precondition code. you will use before suit. So before suit is this annotated method will be run before all the tests in the suit have run. So suit test cases execution before, and this before suit annotated method block will execute for you. Like, maybe deploying the code in the servers that you can put. Once the code is deployed, then you can run your test cases, right? So that deployment or any precondition code, you can put it here. So that is the precondition. All thread before annotations are preconditions for particular scenario. Now suit before you want to run, this is before suit. Then after suite, so after suite, the annotated method will be run after all the tests in this suite have run. Okay, all are done. So all the test cases in the suite have completed execution. After post actions, what you want to do? Maybe collecting the logs, taking screenshots, all that post execution related activities, you can place it here under after suite method block. So before is a setup kind of thing. After suit is a kind of post action related things you can do with this thing. Okay. Okay. So that's all about before suit and after suit. So before test, after test. So to understand this, we need to understand the suit file concept. Okay, so let's understand where you can find this uh, suit file. So let's go to, there is a nice documentation, TestNG documentation, TestNG documentation. See this, the testng.org. So this will provide a nice documentation. See, you can have this, and there is a TestNG documentation, testng.xml. See this. See, this is the one format. This is the interview question also. What is the TestNG framework? TestNG suite format. So this is the declaration type, then suite tag, test tag, then classes tag inside a individual class tag. So you can include all your TestNG classes here. Then close the classes tag. Then close the test tag. If you want one more test tag, you can add a second test. Classes. See, in these classes inside, I'm including multiple TestNG classes. Then close these classes, close the test, close the suite. So that is the how you can write. This is the format of a test, or you can just have a simple this one only if you don't want multiple test tags. But the order is suite tag, test tag, classes tag inside a class tag, then close the classes tag, close the test tag, then close the suite tag. So this is the simple, this is the one, right? Simple, you can see even packages also. If you don't want to run individual classes, you want to run entire package, you can do that. Suite tag, test tag, packages inside, you have a package. So then close the packages tag, close the test tag, close the suite tag. So that's a generic no suite file structure. So always starts with a suit tag. Then there are attributes, right? These are all attributes. So if you know HTML structure that I explained, and this is similar. HTML is predefined tags and attributes will be there. XML is, what is the difference between HTML and XML? HTML means hypertext markup language. XML is extensible markup language. The difference is in the HTML, you have a predefined tags like input tag, select tag, uh, div tag, or span tag, right? So paragraph tag, h tags, a tag, like that, right? So here you can create your own tag in the XML. That's the XML format. But again, same structure, tags and their attributes, tag name and their attributes. So tag name, attribute name, and this one. So this is how you can use either classes or packages. So classes means individual class you can run. So multiple classes you can run also in the same. And this is a simple structure. You don't need second test and you can just close the suit tag. So that is the suit file I was talking about. So if you understand this, then you can understand this before test, after test. So before test means the annotated method will be run before any test method belonging to the classes inside the test tag is run. That means this test tag inside test methods of this class execution before the before test will execute. So each test tag before, okay, this test tag before and before test code will execute. After test means this annotated method will be run after all the test methods belonging to the classes inside the test tag I have run. Okay, now all these classes are completed. Then, so this test tag is ending, right? After that, immediately after test will execute. So this will repeat. If multiple test tags are there, first before test will execute, then second test, all the second test inside classes will execute. Then after this test, again after test will execute. So this will repeat every test tag before test, all the test tag inside classes after test will execute. That means before test and after test are test tag level annotations. So this is a very important interview question. Can you explain the difference between before test and at the before method? Is there one more? People will confuse. Before test is a test tag level annotation. Before method is a test method level annotation. Before method is nothing but before each in JUnit. We already discussed it. I don't know how much clarity you have in before each. If you have a clarity there, and this one is going to be very easy. Okay. So tomorrow we'll continue remaining things, and please go through that. This is the TestNG is a very, very crucial topic, and your framework also written using TestNG only. So make sure you spend a lot of time on